All right, Spricker, you know we start off a little bit earlier before the rest of the fam, so thank you for tuning in as we get ready. Hey, children, I need y'all to. Hey, I'm doing my show. Y'all need to go on somewhere.
Hi, Daddy.
How you doing?
Hi, Gina.
All right, so right now I'm having problems with the Instagram. Let's go over here and see what's going on with YouTube. YouTube is up. We starting our YouTube. We're gonna go out of here. We're gonna go here. All right, YouTube. I want to welcome y'all. Let me make sure y'all know who it is, Brother Hot Tim. All right, so we're about to get it up. Get out of here. Let's go here. We're going to close all. I don't know what goes on with this Instagram, but we're about to figure this out, right? Because every time I go to Instagram, family, it's always slowing us down. So we're going to try to go live. There we go. So Instagram is up. All right. Now let's go to Facebook. And let's get it, fam. It's time for us to get it. So y'all know how we do it here. Get your glasses. Get your glasses. Get everything that you need because we're about to get it started right. First, let me make sure of something. My Bluetooth is not on. Okay, cool. Let's go. Drink your water. Drink your water. Lift your glass and 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 drink your water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Now take your breath and drink your water. 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 Drink, 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 drink. Drink, breathe, drink, breathe. Now move your body and drink some water. 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 Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Now lift your glass and toast your ancestors. 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 Drink, live. Drink, live. Drink, live. Drink, live. Now lift your glass and drink your water. Then take your breath and drink your water. Move your body, drink some water. And lift that glass and toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Lift your glasses, family. Want to welcome those that's coming in. Y'all know, on Kuumba, y'all gotta catch me. Kuumba and Imani, y'all gotta catch me when you can. Y'all know how it goes down here. So, get your water, drink, let's drink. About to go down, family. Bro, we're about to have some real nation builder talk. Like and share, because the conversation only can be as hot as you are. So you can even call in 614-556-4535. As a matter of fact, I gotta go and open that app so that we can get it together here. I'm moving kind of slow, even though I started kind of early. Drink your water, family. Drink your water. I want to thank everybody that's taking the time to tune in now, or whether you tuning in later, because sometimes I understand you can't make it for the toast, even though it ain't early mornings on the weekends unless I got to run. Now, quick announcement. Tomorrow we will be having, I think, tomorrow we'll be having divine conversations, and I will be going into step number 2 for the caveat that I gave 2 weeks ago. Now we're going to start breaking down stories, and we're going to start working on building our story, right? As individuals and as a collective. See, we got to understand that the individual is only as strong as the collective, and the collective is only as strong as the individuals. It's a divine cycle there, and we have to figure it out, right? So we have to start learning how to harness this technology called storytelling. It's a technology, and we got to harness it so that we can start using it towards our benefit. You know what I'm saying? Rather than it's being used against us. Right now, a lot of stories are being used against us, and we have to learn how to go and strike those. Now, I wasn't able to do the show on Gye-Nyame, tribal quotes, so we're going to move into some of the quotes today after we toast the ancestors. And also, I want to have a discussion with y'all about, in a sense, tribe building, nation building. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is, in the discussion, is something that I think needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? That may not be happening. I don't know if it's happening in y'all cities. Maybe it's happening in Columbus. I'm just not aware of it. You know what I'm saying? But we need to talk about establishing a process through which individuals can join our families, right? It ain't just you walk in one week and you studying, you reading books with us. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to have a process or establish a process through which when somebody comes in, there's absolutely no doubt that you are us. You are family. You understand? See, because the gone are the times where just because you're black, you know what I'm saying, and just because you're black, you down. I'm not with that. No. I got people sitting in jail right now because of, you know, the black thing. You know, I'm black. We all united and we all together. Can you close that door for me? So Oh, okay. So I see Miss Christine is on. Shouts out to CeeLo. Live, drink. And she got it on here, but it's not showing up on my screen. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the comments. Okay, there they go. So they added another screen. Shaka's on the line. Sister Jill is on the line. Nicole Pittman is on the line. Shouts out to Christine Lowe again, family. Listen, I don't know what's going on with this, but listen, I'm opening up the call-in lines as we speak so that we can go on and have this discussion. We're going to do this toast. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important, family. Listen, it's very important that we salute these ancestors. I need you to understand that, right? Why, Brother Hatim? Why? You know what I'm saying? It's just the past, right? Oftentimes, see, Shaka already up on the line. Because I know he hot because he had already sent out a link to people to join the show on Ujamaa. But I wasn't able to come up. And those that don't speak the language, I don't say the regular days of the week. I'm saying our words for those days of the week. And I need y'all to understand this is important to me. Oh my God, we got 2 callers in. Already the conversation is about to pop off. So I need y'all to get ready. Strap in. Get your seatbelt on. Because we got somebody calling in from Dayton. We got Brother Shaka calling in. Hey, 614. All right, hold on. Let me post up this call. What's up? Oh, Shaka, you gonna turn that down, man. You know the rules. All right, so
Right on.
Hey, how you doing, man? I gotta apologize to you because I see that I didn't see it till the day after, but you had posted up the show, and I wasn't able to do it because we had a skating party for the kids, man. And I mean, I when I'm there, I have to be the last one because I got to make sure my kids are safe, right? Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Oh, that was Tiandra. Tiandra, feel free to call back in. These parents didn't come until almost 9 o'clock. Actually, I left here about 8:55. It ended at 8. I was planning to get home. By the time I got home, I said, man, look, I'm going to bed. And plus, I had been up all day because I had to go to Ohio State because we spoke about that. I was at Ohio State at a conference, and I had the opportunity to take some of my kids up there. And they showed out in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Can you close that door, please?
Uh-huh.
So we're about to toast these ancestors, and then we're going to get into the conversation because what we wasn't able to do on Ujamaa, we're going to do today. All right? So we're going to talk about these proverbs, and also I want to talk to the village. I want to talk to the family. You know what I'm saying? Because one, I'm like, yo, how do we initiate? You know what I'm saying? Because this is a very important thing for me. How do we initiate? And I want to throw out some ideas. I want to have some discussions because we have a culture where everybody can just participate. When you look at other cultures, it's not like that. When I'm dealing with the Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? It's a little different. They have ceremonies and rituals that individuals participate in, and I mean, it's live. You know what I'm saying? It's on a whole nother. But Shaka, I'm gonna let you go and share a couple of things, because I know you got something on your mind. But go ahead. I'm gonna get ready for this toast. Oh, go ahead.
Right on. So, what I kind of want to focus on, nation building is relationship building, essentially.
It is.
All right. When you look at, self mastery, in the process should come before nation building. Just being introduced to the concept of self mastery, because of course the process is lifelong. All right.
Right.
But at least you need to learn how to dashboard in your life to know where you need to fuel up. You need to look at your dashboard and see where physically, intellectually, economically, and spiritually, you need to be able to fortify your foundation. And the way that you fortify your foundation is basing it on what you know is true. You know if you are physically strong or physically weak, or spiritually strong or spiritually weak. You know if you have flow, some capital, or just income. You know, we know these things about ourselves, where we want to be. We have to adjust, and that we need to be able to read the dashboard and know what type of work we need to do for self. Because if we don't do that first, and we try to get into a collective, we become the weak link because we didn't take care of one first.
And now, because this is something that I noticed in dealing with other nation building groups, not just black folks, but that process is part of the process of becoming part of the collective. There's an individual challenge. There's an individual component, but in that developing an individual is done within a collective that can help you make progress. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's like teamwork make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? And by you being involved with that collective, it helps you become a better person, helps you become stronger, and all that. Okay, I didn't post it up. I'm wondering why it didn't pop up. Man, everything is moving slow on my computer. There we go. I'm about to post up the numbers so people could call in, because this is a critical piece. Because when we talk about nation, because like this, like I said, I got friends, I have elders who have been prosecuted or persecuted by individuals who said they were part of what they were doing, but in fact was working with another agenda or another group that was designed to destroy. We all know about COINTEL program, right? How can we protect ourselves in this building? Because people benefit from us being confused. People benefit, like I said, this whole country was built up on the destruction of black folks, on the failure of black folks. We have whole industries that are funded on our failings. You know what I'm saying? You can look at the prison. You know what I'm saying? You can look, I mean, really, and when you look at a lot of the consumerism, we're consuming because we're losing. Losers have to consume. That's the only way you survive. You know what I'm saying? So now, how can we protect ourselves so that we can start putting ourselves around like-minded people, start speaking in not even alike, but similar, speaking a language that we can understand. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. So now we're about to do this toast, and we're going to get into that conversation, and I'm quite sure they're going to come out in the Proverbs. So we're gonna wrap it all up into one. So right here, right now, this is a mixture that was created in the mind of Brother Kwame. This is, I don't even know what to call it. This is an ambrosia infused with ginseng root, black seed, and dandelion root and burdock root. I don't even know what to call this. Now it look kind of muddy.
Wow.
I'm not even filtering this. And Kwame said he don't want his filter either. Now, so we're gonna toast the ancestors, and I'm gonna sample this because this has been sitting around. Now the next batch will be coming out soon. I'm doing a super moon batch, right? I'm kind of waiting for the super moon, so I'm gonna start brewing the tea possibly tonight. And the super moon is going to be on January 31st, and this is an event that happens like every few hundred years. Well, actually, the next one is going to be in 2028, but we're going to have a super moon, a blue moon, and we're going to have a lunar eclipse, all happening at the same time. And the question that I asked on the Gye-Nyame timeline, oh yeah, Shaka, I put you down as the editor. On the Gye-Nyame timeline is, how are you going to use, harness, and guide that energy? we have a major celestial event that's going to be happening. A rare celestial event that's going to be happening right here for us. And the question is, what are you going to do with the energy? Because other people are going to be using the energy for themselves, for their people. Now, the question I have to ask, family, what are you going to do with it? Or how are you going to use it? All right, so now, we're going to do this toast, and then we're going to move straight into conversation, and we're going to hit on whatever y'all want to hit. Thank you for whoever throwing up them hearts. Thank you. All right, but now, I ain't sampled this yet, so if I sprout rings or I blow up or something, y'all can tell them exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just go back to a couple of minutes into the all right, okay. I got you. Woo. So I'm going to be chewing too. All right, family. So first, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift up our glass. We send out that energy. We call that energy into us. We recognize that the Creator is all around us and goes by many different names, by many different people. Right? So we want to salute the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. And we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, without any further ado, we're going to get into our list of ancestors. Oh, Shaka, man, listen, man. I'm so upset with you right now. So I go to my Superphone app, and guess who name ain't in there? Guess who information ain't in there?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, all right. Now,
oh my God.
So I'm not really late, but it took me a while to get to the show, family, because I was loading data from the Kwanzaa celebration. And one of the things that we definitely have to stop doing as collective, regardless of what group we in, when we gather this information from our people, we have to start learning how to use it. All right? It makes no sense to have sign-in lists and we don't enter the data and we don't stay in contact with our folks. I'm just saying that, right? Makes no sense. So, as far as the Columbus Collective, whether it's Tawi, whether it's Gye-Nyame, whatever groups are out there, family, when we collect this information, we have to start making communication and getting in touch with our people. All right, so on to the personal ancestors. We call on our personal ancestors, and this is the list of family members that was sent in to me by you. Those that have ancestors that's not on this list, at this point in time, what you can do is you can post them up on the timeline, whether you whether you follow me live on YouTube, or whether you live on Facebook, or whether you live on Instagram, or even if you're on Spreaker, you can post them up because I'm going to be going through those timelines and checking. Now, those that want their ancestors added to the daily toast list, all you have to do is call in to 614-300-1875, right? And don't call, text 614-300-1875, put in hashtag daily toast, or just register. You know what I'm saying? Once you text it, I'll text you back. I'll send you a link. You go in, you get added to the phone book, and in my phone book listing, I got ancestors. Do you have any ancestors that you won't recognize? When you fill that out, I'll get it. But if you put hashtag daily toast, it'll send you a list, and from that list is where I upload all these ancestors. So I thank y'all for participating, and here we go. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert and Tex, Senator Davis, Herman Brown, Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia, William Walter, Chris and Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pimenel, Nomo X, Pat Mara, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro Ector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley and the Luxor Brothers, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Randerman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susan B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Mary B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Worrells, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, or Leon Gross. I need whoever ancestor that is, please send in, let me know who it is. Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Imhotep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lisa Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vena Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart. Close that door. William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. Brother Anubis added Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles. Sister Tiandra added Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr. Brother Deshaun added Jennifer Sensenball. I added some more: Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Miss Aisha out of Dayton put Stacy Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown. Miss Ford put Ruth Carter, Joan Cox, Ruth and Paul Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Boots Jefferson. Dr. D put Dan Wilkinson Sr. Sister Jackie from Maryland put, well, actually she from Detroit, but she put Emma McClendon. We also added Jerry Doyle and Amina Robinson to the list. Woo! Somebody put Wilbur Willmeyer is through Gye-Nyame Journey, so that's one of the editors. Shouts out to Wilbur Willmeyer. Nobody on Instagram. Let's see if anybody posted anything on. Nobody on. Let's just double check. Nobody on YouTube. All right, so hold on. I gotta check Spreaker now, just in case. All right, nobody on Spreaker. All right, so we lift our glass to those ancestors that we call, and we give out a powerful ashe. All right, that's the bridge to our past, which is the foundation upon which we stand. And those elders, those individuals that passed, made it possible for this now to exist. So we stand on this now. We stand in power on this day of Kuumba. And for those that don't know, today is Kuumba, and if you don't speak the language, the day is the day of creativity. The demonic principle for the day is order. The color is orange. The hermetic law is cause and effect. Male name for the day is Kwame. Female name is Ama. Salute to all those that was born on this day. Not the date, but the very day of the week. Shouts out to all of y'all. It's your day. It's your day. All right? So, shouts out to all the Kwames and all the Amas. We lift up our glass. We say Ashe. We understand that our power is in the now, so we lift up our glass. And we will focus and activate these reticular formations in our minds so that we can find the principle of the day. What's the principle of the day? Are y'all ready? The principle of the day is Kuumba. That's right. The day is Kuumba. It's the day of Kuumba. So we lift up that glass. We say Ashe. From near family, we move on to our children, our children's children, on to infinity, because everything that we think, say, and do, everything that we building in the now will benefit those in the future. And the question we all got to struggle with, we all got to ask ourselves on a regular basis, what am I building? Legacy, legacy, legacy. What are we leaving? Are we leaving the world better for our children? Are we leaving our part of the world more organized for our children? We have to think about that, family, because once again, we're generational people, and the way the generational thing go is we come back in our bloodline. So if we leave our bloodline messed up, we're going to come back to a messed up situation. So if you got stuff you need to fix in your family, fix it. If you got stuff you need to fix in your bloodline, fix it. You know what I'm saying? If you need to establish some type of trust, we need to start working on that, because we can do that together. We can start building something right now so that our children can benefit. We toast our children now so that they can toast us in the future, and we say Ashe. From there, we move to all of our relations. We lift up our glass. We say Ashe. Last but not least, family, I toast each and every last one of you that take the time. Especially, I lift up my glass to those daily toasters, because y'all be coming out, right? Coming out, lifting that glass, drinking that water, moving our bodies, because we got to stay in shape, and we got to stay in connection with our ancestors. So we lift those glass. We say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, in 100 years. Oh my God, I see the Maven. The Maven is in the house, right? For those that don't know what a Maven is, it goes back to a book by what's his name? Oh my God, I can't think of his brother's name. Out of Canada, he wrote a book where he talked about he wrote the book Outliers. But before Outliers, he wrote another book, and he's a great storyteller. But in the book, he talked about certain people, and a Maven was somebody who is able to. They're like a trendsetter. It's like they do stuff and other people do it, or they'll put up a post on Facebook and get hundreds of responses. And we got those in our community. What we need to start doing is figuring out who those are and start plugging into them so that we can start getting our message out. Hell with World Star. It wasn't created for us. And in many ways, it wasn't created by us. And I know a lot of y'all gonna argue that point, right? Because it was a black man that started, but where that black man, where was he from? And when I say us, of course we got family all over the world, but we have a particular struggle. We have a particular place. So we lift up the glass, and last we say Ashe, and now we get into the conversation. Go ahead, Shaka, because I hear you clearing your throat. Go ahead. Hot damn.
Now, first of all, do we have anyone else on the line?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. I just saw the presence of some folks, and all right. So now, let's get back to this thing. How do we initiate into our club, our tribe,
our families? Because y'all need to understand, to be born in the family, you have to be initiated.
Right. Now, see.
Birth is an initiation.
I'm down to it. And I take this even as far as my 7-year-old son. Is he ready for initiation? It depends on where we're always preparing our children. And I think with parenting, That's what it is. We want to prepare our children to be able to deal with what's in front of them today, whatever adversity they're dealing with today. So when my son comes home and he says, "Dad, it's a kid on the bus that's bullying me," I don't take him off of the bus. I give him ways to deal with that situation and to resolve his own conflict. He told me the other day, check this out, Hassan. He said, "Dad, it's this kid on the bus that bullies me and my friends." I said, "How many bullies?" He said, "One." I said, "How many friends?" I said, go back on that bus and deal with that, boy. Follow what I mean?
Right.
The piece is that he may not have gotten it. I let him know there's power in numbers.
There is power in numbers.
Go and deal with it. You know? So the piece is that I don't know how he's using that information, but initiation is the time where we get to see how much our children are actually paying attention, how much they actually know, because when things happen, I remember when I was in 4th grade, and some might have been a parent, might have been a former parent, but she definitely had some mental health issues, and she came into a classroom, and the teacher saw that she was not right, and we were all standing up doing some activity. And so when the teacher moved her hands to go a certain way, and all the class moved on that side of the classroom. And when that woman moved on that side of the classroom, teacher moved her hands the other way, and the kid fled to the other side so that she could get out the room without harming nobody.
Right.
And here's the piece, is that is the moment that teacher had prepared us for, especially during that activity. She used where we were then and the rhythm of what we understood about how we move together. Understand, move together. It's muscle memory. It's reflexive then. And that's what our families do not have in case of. If this is, you look at the holidays. You go to somebody else's house who actually celebrates the holidays compared to someone who comes from a family that my mom might cook that day. She never cooks, but except for the holidays. Right. You go into a house where they have a very traditional practice. Family comes around. Everybody's looking forward to it. The spirit of it, you get to experience for the first time. You go into that household for one Thanksgiving, and you come back home like, man, that's what I want. Right? Mm-hmm. So how do you from that point acculturate yourself into that vibration to attract a family if your family does not practice that? To attract certain family values that are not necessarily practiced in your family. Well, we're doing it right now.
Right.
Because chances are, for every single one of us on the line, speaking this language of nation builder, our families have no idea what we're doing. Our elders might not even care about that because they set. Some of our elders are just set in their ways, and there's no way to, and I had to deal with that personally when I came back to Cleveland and realized how deep or how different my belief is to my grandmother's, because she is so devout in Jesus and Christianity. And not that I don't believe that is her source. I had to grow to understand that. So, as a young person, you're a little bit more insolent with this information especially when it comes to belief, because you want to express what you've learned, as if it's some new information to the elders, and quite possibly it is, but it's not the time and place to try to convert them into our new understanding, because we have not initiated ourselves into that.
Right. Because
You understand what I'm saying?
initiation automatically. How can I put it? We have to understand that in many ways we have to accept our elders and some of their ways, even though we might not agree with it. But that don't stop us from building a new collective. This is why I say in Gye-Nyame we make our own elders, because out of the collective that I formed, there will be a new crop of elders that will have come up through a system, right? And many of them will have been in the system a majority of their life. You know what I'm saying? And we have to develop collectives like that, because we got to understand that the experience that we went through and the knowledge that we're bringing back together, right? Because our elders weren't able to communicate in the ways that we're communicating. Right now on the line, I can have somebody from Maryland, or I can have somebody from Dayton, and I can have somebody. I even found out that I got somebody on my timeline out of Africa that's posting up shit, and it's like, yo, at no other time were we able to communicate in the way that we are communicating now, family. So we have a different set of circumstances and different tools that we can use to move to another level. This doesn't mean that we neglect our elders and disrespect our elders. What this means is that we gonna have to come up with the ceremonies and the rituals and invite the elders, especially the ones that have shown themselves and demonstrated their work. We still can respect them. Like in Gye-Nyame, right. One of the things that I put in Gye-Nyame, I don't know if you remember the ranking system that I developed for Gye-Nyame, but part of the ranking system is that you can have a younger person that's of a higher rank. And I need you to understand that you can have a younger person in Gye-Nyame that's a higher rank than you. But that younger person is still responsible for showing you respect. Now, when it comes to the business of the family, that young person's decision outranks yours. But the whole piece is that we have to cultivate the ability, because you think you might know more far as knowledge-wise, but as wisdom-wise, you still have to respect that elder. You know what I'm saying? You still may be able to glean some wisdom from them. So we have to come up with systems that's able to work around what's going on with us. We are a very unique people here in America, family, and we got to understand this. No one has been through the trauma we have been through. No one. So our generations are right. Totally decimated, totally confused.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you even look at the sense of manhood that is being produced within our culture, where manhood is about how much you can buy rather than how much you can produce. It's totally contrary to every other culture's idea of manhood. You know what I'm saying? Except for in America, you know, because America, that's what they train us to be, consumers, which used to be an insult. If somebody called you a consumer, that was an insult. They used to call bad diseases of consumption. You know what I'm saying? You got consumption. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Oh man,
shit is strong.
Yeah. Hold on, my mind is buffering. I do that because I'm listening to you, Hot Tim, and I'm so easily distracted nowadays. We were talking about. Oh man, go ahead.
All right, cool.
It'll come back.
I'm gonna give a family example, right? I was blessed through the Simba Circle, and my elder Gaylord sent me as a representative of Simba to the Native American Sundance in South Dakota. Right? So Elder Gaylord flew me from Columbus to New Mexico. I hooked up with our family in New Mexico. Shouts out to Elder Albino, Chief Albino. I hooked up with them.
Albino.
We drove from New Mexico to South Dakota, right? And I went there for 5 days, or however long the Sundance was, because when we got there was absolutely nothing there. The family got there, and they gathered. The men and the women started doing their thing, and we started building everything that we needed. Now, what happened at the Sundance? First thing that started was a village was erected. Right? A village was erected. So each family was responsible for bringing a certain amount of food so that everybody can eat, so everybody can feast. You know what I'm saying? And they set up their tents. They made them as comfortable as possible because they knew they was going to be there for at least 5 days. And then we set up the ritual ring where people would actually do the sun dance. Now, and I know some people are like, well, Brother Hatim, I don't like woods. Neither did all those people. Brother Hatim, I got physical ailments. So did some of those. Matter of fact, I seen a sister that was there who was quadriplegic, and one of the brothers that was there that had met her said, I'm gonna dance for her. So for those that couldn't dance themselves, other people in the collective took their burden on and said, I'm going to dance and I'm going to pray for you. So basically, you had a week worth, a community of people that came together for a week that built their own village and ran it like a village. It was certain rules that had to be followed. It was certain rituals that needed to be respected. It was certain times that things happened, right? And there, I got to participate in the ghost dance that was made illegal by, and I want you to understand this. These dances, the sun dance, was outlawed. The ghost dance is probably still outlawed because the enemy understands the power of groups coming together and doing ceremonies and rituals. Now,
right.
I'm saying all to say this. During that time, when they come together, chiefs are made, individuals able to show their bravery, their loyalty to the collective. Prayers are launched in a super powerful way. You watch miracles happen, right? Because a group of people believe so strongly. And not only are they moving in faith, they are actually doing the action, and they have been doing the work, and they come together for that time and period and put it together. I'm throwing the challenge out there, family. There's no reason why we can't come together and do something like that, because basically the sun dance in many ways is an initiation ceremony. It's a prayer ceremony. Right. It's like you can't really categorize it because there's so much going on. And you have relationships being developed, because I met people from Tennessee. I met people from Canada. You know what I'm saying? I met people bringing their own products, and they didn't set up booths to sell stuff, but they brought stuff to share. So there was nobody hungry for that whole time we was there. We feasted together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Hatem,
go ahead.
when was the last time you tasted a lapa?
Who?
Oh, am I saying it right? It's made from it's a oh man. If I'm not mistaken, it's customary in Ghana. It's like a patty made out of minced like black-eyed peas. A lapa?
I don't know. My wife ain't here to verify. I haven't had none in a while.
Okay.
Now we got to understand. Let me explain why I don't eat a lot of African food. Now I got to be clear. My wife eat a lot of fish, but she don't eat fish like we eat fish. My wife cooked the whole goddamn fish, and and you already know I'm scared as hell of bones. And the fish that she got, them bones, like for example, I could take one of those bones and I could stab you to death with it. And I'm looking at them damn bones. I'm learning slowly but surely. It's been a long journey. But them bones in that fish scare the hell out of me, family. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I'm gonna point this out. One of the things that I recognize about my wife, right? She go grocery shopping. She just went grocery shopping. She gonna go probably to Walmart's. But before she come home, you know where she going? She gonna go to the African store, and she gonna buy stuff directly from her people, so that she can make sure that she at least eating something that's connected to her culture. And family, like I said, man, this is why we need to start coming together so that we can start. Jackie, she calls it stabilize. like Kwanzaa, stabilizing our culture. Of course, we can't go camping during Kwanzaa, but we got all summer. We could put some stuff together. We got a lot of the autumn time to put something together and do something big here. And it don't even take a whole lot of us because it starts small. It starts small because you want to make sure. Go ahead.
Now let me get back to the reason I asked you about that dish is because it's customary, right? Because it's customary, because it has a certain taste and a certain smell to it, that when you eat that outside of the ceremonial practices of whatnot, taste, smell, our senses take us back to the experiential. Just like, you know what reminds me about Beano is, what's that stuff we used to, powwow.
Oh.
Remember we used to roll powwow?
Yeah.
It took me right back to the sweat lodge.
See,
because of the smell of
right,
sage.
Right. And it's like the ceremony. It's like it's the programming goes on during the ceremony, and it's certain things that'll take you right back. Right. So when and when you are able to control it like that, it allows you to, when you experience certain things, it brings you back into your culture. It reminds you of who you are. And we don't have a lot of that going on with us. Like, for example, what I try to do is make this a touchstone. It's like a touchstone, a cultural touchstone, where, you know, every time somebody come on this show, I want them to at least be able to reflect back on their African culture, to reflect back on our culture here. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be a cultural touchstone. But Sister Tiandra is on the line. What's up, sister? How you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to thank you for joining us on the toast on the Daily Toast. This one of my daily toasters, right? She holds down the Instagram part of the family. You know what I'm saying? She spearheaded the Instagram part of the family because I got on Instagram because that's where she was. Right, but go ahead, Miss Tiandra. You got something you want to share with us?
We're trying to get the young people, the young generation, are more so on Instagram. So, you know, sharing slowly but surely. Figured out how to add people directly to the live. So invited a few people. They haven't joined yet, as I can see, but you got to start somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But there were a few things that I wanted to touch on. And in the very beginning of the call, you mentioned about how our culture doesn't seem to be as protected or sacred as other cultures, and other people can join in. And I think it's because it is what it is. So we can pick out negative and positives from that. And one, we're a welcoming, family-oriented culture. So we give value to the individual and to the collective. We greet people when we see them, when we walk by.
Right.
You know, and not every culture is like that, but that's who we are, and that's what's beautiful about us. So we've invited people in, and it's been to our demise in a lot of ways, but I know that we can use it as our strength. And just in agreement to what you were saying, something that's really been, you know, I've been hit in my stomach with it almost, is that very thin line between appreciation and appropriation. Right? So I'm welcoming you into the culture, and sometimes, you know, for some of these other cultures, they don't need an invitation. They just barge right in.
Right.
But you're enjoying the culture, but as soon as we go elsewhere and our people are enjoying our culture, then it's an issue because it's not in the element that you wanted to receive it in. And rather than talking in code, I can paint a very clear picture. I love to dance and I love to work out. And, you know, a lot of people make profit off of perverting our culture, and they will push us right out of the picture. So how can I go to a hip-hop class and ain't not one person of color? What sense does that make?
Right.
You're listening and moving to our music, and again, that thin line between appreciation and appropriation. And my question is just, there's just that energy that you feel, and you always reflect back to the energy, and I appreciate that because that's how I identify. And there's some ladies that I'll be next to, and they're not necessarily of our culture, but you can feel the appreciation. And then there's some ladies where it's like, if my godchild, my godson, who's about to get his 10th, rolls up beside you in his car, blasting the same music that you blasting and shaking your ass to, here, you gonna grip your will tight and be scared. And that bothers you. It's okay for you to do it when you go into this class and pay $7 a pop, and you're surrounded by all your white, housewife friends, and I'm just painting a picture. But yet and still, if the same song comes on outside and it's dark, and I thought that he came up with my car fast, so I just read the red light because I was afraid of getting, carjacked.
Right.
Something like that. I have a problem with that.
And we should.
I find it interesting to use the example of hip hop earlier because one of the things that I wanted to express in terms of, we were talking about initiation earlier, and we were talking about, and what I talk about a lot is people just taking liberties instead of going through the process. And that's the part that really vexes me about it, is because that's the part that when someone does that, for example, like t-shirt wearers, I'm not really in a frat, but I'm wearing a t-shirt because of what it does, right? So the piece is that
you can't wait. Hold on. You talking about? Hold on. You saying somebody outside of a frat wearing a frat t-shirt? Is that what I heard? Okay, go on and finish the statement because I want to. Huh?
Well, let me explain to you. Yes, it happened. Yes, it happened. They're called clandestine, right? Or no, clandestine. There's a young guy, 21 years old, very motivated individual. One day I see him, how you doing? Teaching this hip hop dance class, and really, I didn't know that you were even, down like that. I mean, do you b-boy? Nah, I just, these little kids, so I'm just teaching them. They don't know the difference. What do you mean? What kind of hip hop dance are you teaching them? Well, really, it's salsa, but when in the midst of the kids, they're gonna do what they want to do anyway. Like, hold on, time out. But you are teaching a hip hop dance class and you're teaching salsa. He's like, yeah, because realistically, hip hop is a derivative of everything else in it anyways. So whatever it is that I teach, if I call it hip hop, it's it's contributed to the culture in that way. And I'm supposed to sit there and say, oh yes, but I teach hip hop culture. So when I ask you, what about, do you teach them the elements? What do you mean the elements? Oh, Lord. Lord.
And you know why that is?
You understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah, because the threshold for entrance is so low with us. Because, like, we have opened up hip-hop and said hip-hop is an international thing. We're all African. We all originated in Africa. And then, you know what I'm saying? But when you do that, what you do is you open up the borders. And what we have been shown historically, when you open up your borders, culturally or physically, you will be ransacked. Our culture has been ransacked. The level of interest is so low. Back to the Sundance piece. Family, listen to me. My elder told me, brother, you can't even dance until you come at least 4 years in a row. I said, what? You can't even dance. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's an honor. And not only that, each of the sun dancers realize that the whole universe is balanced on the fact of them dancing. Because they dance, they believe that they keep the universe going. So it is a great responsibility. And in order to be able to do it, you have to prove yourself within the culture. You got to walk, and you have to be approved by a chief or an elder even before you can get out there. And my elders was like, his piece for me was, you need to at least come 4 years in a row. Now, with us, shit, all you got to do is put on a t-shirt. All you got to do is walk around with a book. The threshold of entrance into our shit is so low. And see, and this is the issue for me, right? Motherfucker, look, you can't call yourself doctor in this motherfucking culture and not get checked if you're not a doctor. You can't call yourself, you know what I'm saying? It's certain, even in their culture, they have certain levels. But in our culture, you could be anything you want. And the piece is, at least in Columbus, we got to stop that, especially with this next generation coming up. And last piece, I'm gonna say this. One of the pieces we misinterpret is the term sacrifice, because a lot of times we think that when we give a little bit of money, it's a sacrifice. But family, let me give you the rules and the parameters of sacrifice. Shouts out to Shelly. Is that Shelly? No, that's Shelly. I'll go off of Instagram in a second. Sacrifice only happens when what you give hurts. Let me say that again, because a lot of people in our culture don't want to hear this shit. Sacrifice is only a sacrifice that when you give it, it hurts. It causes some type of discomfort. So if you have $1 million and you give $10 to something, it's not a sacrifice. It doesn't count. And we need to be clear on that. So we have a lot of people that believe, oh, just because I gave a little, you know what I'm saying, I sacrificed. No, motherfucker, you didn't sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got to have something within our community, with those people that's like us. Well, we need to pull away from society, because the first step in rites of passage as an individual or as a collective is separation. We need to separate ourselves for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. We pull ourselves apart from this society as it is, and we erect the borders through which an individual have to come. And those individuals that want to be part of us have to be able to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got to be able to sacrifice. And if you can't sacrifice, for example, you got an elder that's just coming into conscious, they too old possibly to do some of the rituals. Is somebody willing to step up for you and do it for you?
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Now also, yes. Also to add to that, Hashem, one thing that we sacrifice when we, especially for the newcomers, all right, is, number one, comfort, all right, and number two, our old ways. If we're talking about coming into a new culture, there are certain things that make us a distinct culture. For example, when I have a young apprentice, I'm mentoring a young artist. So the rule is that you do carry a book, a black book that I put my little inscription for you, and you carry that wherever you go. Because when you're inspired, I want you to write the things about life that inspires you. When I speak to you and you rise my words, I need for you to be able to circle my initials at the end so people know where that came from when you spit it. If you write it into your rhyme, beautiful, but you have to scribe it first. Now, the thing is that what these millennials, okay, I'm not even going to say millennials. We're beyond them now. These youngsters, they're different than millennials. All right? But they'll still come, instead of bringing that notebook, they'll bring their cell phone. And they'll say, I can take my notes on this. Right? No. That is not way that we scribe. Taking notes is one thing. Scribing is a totally different thing altogether. Because when it's in your handwriting, you know that you wrote it. So you thought it, you wrote it, now go back and understand it. But the piece is you put it on the phone, it's no longer sacred. It can be deleted. It can be sent off to eyes and ears that have nothing to do with the process that you're going through. It might be accidentally shared in social media, or you might, you know what I mean? So the piece is that when it comes to this, it's a very particular reason. Because when you pass along, you're not going to give your cell phone to your kid.
At least not yet.
Right? Right. But even still, Hatem, to hand them a book of not only your understanding and your philosophy as a parent, but your coming of age in real time. You're not going to get that with technology. That, it might be a page that you scribed on when you was down there doing the, what do you call it? With albino, right?
Oh,
you might scribe
shit.
when you're down there with them doing their rituals, and it might be something that's smeared on a page. It might be, some charred cedar or sage on that page, right?
You been in my book.
You understand what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is, I feel you to an extent to where, because when I was down there, that's what the fuck I was doing. Listen, dude, let me tell you how powerful this ritual was. We did the ghost dance. And as we're doing the ghost dance out there, because this is what I want y'all to understand about when people come together. We're doing the ghost dance out there. And, there's a certain way you walk, there's a certain way you go around a circle. And the elder said, all right, now, I want everybody to understand, I want everybody, what you're going to see shit streaming across the skies. So when I say look up, I want everybody to look up. So we dancing, boom, boom, boom. He say look up. We look up, shooting star. That's all that's love. Dance some more, look up. Shooting star. Damn, well, maybe. All right. Look up. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? People come together, people all working towards the same thing. I mean, because even within that community, you got arguments about philosophy and shit, but everybody understands what's going on. You got those individuals, like, for example, at the sun dance, you got people who were fasting until the dance was over. And they call it the sun dance. The ghost dance happens at nighttime. The sun dance goes on all day in a desert-like condition, no water, no food. And those people that's really doing the sun dance and pushing it will not eat the whole time. So they dance from sunrise to sunset, and then continue to fast and actually stay away, separated from the community until the next day, where they come back out and they do the sun dance until it's time for the tearing of the skin. And when I say tearing of the skin, I mean tearing of the skin. So we got hundreds of individuals that's gathering, and they have several different sun dances because they got several different communities. Now, you ask black folks, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing to where we are, in a sense, truly sacrificing? Because if you look at the initiation ceremonies throughout our culture, you got motherfuckers getting teeth knocked out. You got scarification. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers, before bungee cords, you got individuals that would wrap vines around their ankles and dive off of mountaintops. You know what I'm saying? And because you had to show your loyalty to the people. And the only way to do that is to push yourself to certain limits, because at certain limits, even spies are going to break down. I don't believe in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the issue, family. This is how you determine an agent from somebody that's not an agent. You put an individual in a situation, but they're going to have to pull on something bigger than themselves. Sundance, I saw individuals pulling on it. Because you see motherfuckers out there suffering. They dancing, and especially around between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. They dance. I mean, it's like they start at sunset. At sunrise. And they dance all day. They up in the blistering heat. They can't drink no damn water. There's no breaks. The music is going the whole time. They dancing. They dancing. They dancing. You like, God damn. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
By day 3, you are amazed. And I'm like, yo, what we got like that?
You know, the one thing that I think is beautiful about that culture, though, Hatim, and I don't know if you, is how death is a part of life.
Exactly.
Death is a part of life. And the reason why I see the beauty in it is because it was there that it was explained to me that the closer you are to death, closer you are to hearing the voice of God. And so that's why their rituals are so extreme.
That ain't even extreme. That's not
ahead.
even extreme, though. See, this is what I'm saying. That shit is not even extreme.
But hold on. Because you come from a different experience.
No, hold on. Listen to me.
When you talk about this, go ahead.
Listen to me. The Sundance part is not the extreme. The extreme is what you call ego dancers. See, we talking about the delight part. When I share with you about the Sundance, I'm sharing with you the light part. Let's get into it. Let's look at the ego dancer. See, the ego dancer is a whole nother dancer within the whole Sundance community. The ego dancer is extreme. We ain't even talking extreme when I just talk about the Sundance. That's not extreme. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but the whole piece is, what do we have in our culture that we are able to push not only our young people, but those people that want to come into what we're talking about, that pushes them to a level where they have to pull on something bigger than themselves. And the reason a lot of times we can't do that is because we're so politically correct, we're so scared of lawsuits and all this shit that we can't do it. So we have to develop organizations outside of the mainstream that are able to actually take our young people and those that are going to be initiated, the young people that's going to be initiated into adulthood, and those individuals that want to come into the collective, where we're able to take them where they could push themselves to the limit. Because I already got it mapped out in my head. I ain't gonna put it out on air, but I already got an idea on how to do this. I got several different. I put 2 up, but I got several different methods that we could do as a collective to put individuals through. Where it don't have to take 3 years. You don't have to be all, you know what I'm saying? But it'll push individuals to a point where they have to recognize that they are connected. See, because this is what the ritual is for. The ritual is to remind you of your connection to something greater than yourself. And you push yourself to a point to where you are able to sit at the table with this thing that is bigger than you. And you're able to pull from that so that it can pull you through. Right now, we don't have nothing like that. They do that shit in the military. They do that shit in football. They do that shit in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we do it with our culture? You know what I'm saying? At least they used to do it in sports. You know, because I'm looking at how these little kids practice now. They get more water breaks than I remember a coach kicking over a water table when I was young. You motherfuckers, until y'all get this shit right, ain't nobody drinking no water. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, because like you said, everybody is fearful. Everything that, and I'm not going to speak that on everybody because I know we're not, but the fear of litigation, the false security in job and money and all these things, it has become greater than what is bigger than ourselves, than what truly does drive us, than what we really are here for. And it's sick, but you have to make a conscious decision to not allow that to be your driving force, right? You have to make a conscious decision to know, no, I'm bigger than this. I'm not going to be a slave to my job or a slave to societal norms and a slave to, well, what is this happening? What if somebody, that's a conscious decision that has to be made that at this point in time, exactly, for sure.
In a culture that in a culture that don't respect courage. Go ahead.
When we understand what it takes to change the behavior, what you just said is exactly what's going on right now. All right, and I don't want to bring this all around me and my situation, but and I'm not gonna. The piece is that when we realize that in order to protect the integrity of our cultural distinction, we have to enforce some consequences when it is not being upheld. That is for our tribe and for those outside who are imposing into our tribe with a state of disorganization, with a state of disrespect, with a state of dishonor. You don't wear this T-shirt until you're going through something. Take that off.
Right.
Just like in the military. When I was young, I used to love to rock my dad's military shirts. Right?
Right.
But as soon as he realized that I was doing that, he ripped all the patches off of them. And he let me wear them, but I couldn't wear the patches.
Oh, because he bled for that shit. See, and see, this is what we got to get to with the angle of our culture, because this is what's going to separate us. Until you see, now, let me check this out. Now, for everybody at the Sundance that couldn't dance, they had a ritual for those people too. That required a little bit of pain, required you to be a little bit bold to do that shit, so that you can be able to, in a sense, wear your patch. See, in our culture, anybody could pick up a shirt and wear that shit. Anybody could. I mean, the threshold is so low. I mean, whether we talking about hip hop or we talking about the African consciousness or we talking about whatever, it's so low. We're so hungry for everybody that we'll take everybody else's leftovers. And I'm like, that day in Columbus is over. If you come in here, come. Go ahead. Well, I'm gonna say
in this very
Gye-Nyame, go ahead. I'm sorry.
In this very instance, when you say we, you are genuinely speaking of you and I, because it is not everybody else's role in the tribe to be able to, force that new hand.
Gina,
for example. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, but we have a position. We are at the age now, because Shaka, and this is what we got to understand. Because Miss Tiandra may be a little bit younger than, because she one of those individuals that you can't really look at her and tell how old she is. So she could be 50 for all I know, or she could be 12. I mean that's how she looks.
Hey,
huh?
50 and 12 at the same time. Thank you.
You say who?
I said 50 and 12 at the same time.
At the same time, I look at her, I'll be like, cause she get up and say stuff that lets you know I'm not as young as y'all think I am, but I'm not as old as I talk. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I ain't gonna try to figure her age out. But the point I'm saying is, me and you, Shaka, I know how old you are. You know how old I am. Me and you are approaching the winter of our life. We are right now in the fall time of our life. We are approaching the winter of our life, and if me and you do not start taking stands, all of y'all that are over 40 at this point in time, and those of you that are if you are between 35 and 55 years old, we are in the fall of our life, family. And if we do not take a stand now, if we do not start making it happen now, we will end up waiting until we're elders telling young motherfuckers to do shit that we did not do. I'm still able to do this. I'm still able to set an example. And if we don't do it now, because there are young people that's looking for something. What I keep on telling people, when far as how do you attract young people? Young people want to venture. This is what gangs do for them. We gotta understand this shit. Gangs give young people shit that they give them experiences and adventures that they could share. Young people thrive in that shit. They want to be able to climb something where they might have almost died. They want to feel the thrill and the adrenaline rush. But yet, you bring them to a study group and they sit down and there's no adrenaline flowing here. There's no challenge of life or death here. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? There's no threat. There's no life threat. Go ahead. Gina, you heard me call you. Go ahead.
It is us, and right now it's our responsibility when it comes
to take a bath.
And when I say us, on one level,
give me a water.
And on a major level, I mean Father.
Put some lotion on.
Because we are the ones that once we change the way that people identify with us, not only as black men, but as fathers, they need to understand that there is something fierce there. They need to understand that what the social norm or what the popular belief of the black man and the black father is, and that that the black man's kryptonite is child support and all of that. We have to change that because our young people, the men that believe that, grew up believing that because their fathers believed that. We have to depend on what's inside of us to be able to change that, starting with us, and that's the sacrifice. That is a sacrifice that on February 8th, when I go to be able to deal with those who have imposed on my life and my child's life and has caused us to be estranged, those are the folks that on that day I say, no, I don't know you. You owe us. And I will spend the rest of my life making sure that you pay. And at the end of the day, that piece right there lets them know. Listen, I guarantee you, 99% of the time, I'm not going to win the way the victory in court. The victory happens when those who feel like I do and those who believe like I do start moving like I do and start moving together. Because I myself may not be a threat because I stand alone. When they see that, hey, this is a whole community right outside the door of this courthouse saying, no, we don't behave that way anymore. And you might have your way on the inside, but in our community, which is outside your door, this is the new brand of behavior. And when you step out here, you got us to deal with. And that's what community is supposed to be. And that's what community is not, because we have never seen it working that way. Tim, it is you and I that's going to change that. It is you and I that
have to. We have to. We have to.
Yeah. And I think you can drop the anymore. We don't behave like that anymore, because I don't know if we really behave like that, or if that was one of the weapons of destruction. We're going to create this narrative that this is how they behave, and then we're going to promote this narrative, so it begins to go into their consciousness. Other people begin to think it. So my thing is, if you constantly refer to me as a thief, right? Real life story. If every time I come across you and you flinch, and I haven't given you a reason, eventually I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna give you motherfucking reason to flinch. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's not even that we as people, that our fathers, that our men even acted in that way. I think that that was a very intentional weapon of destruction to say, hey, we're gonna create this narrative and we're gonna make it so constant and so loud that it starts to go into consciousness. Other people start to believe it. You start to be accused of such, and then you're just gonna get so tired that you're just like, fuck it. If that's what I am, then that's what I'm going to be. And I think that's what really bothers me when it comes to, look, I'm just telling all the truth today. Thank y'all. It really bothers me when it comes to interracial dating. Because I feel like what happens is we accept more bullshit from individuals that aren't of our scared of the narrative of our culture, or we don't realize all the barriers that have been created around our people. So I can't go, like, I talk to my young men about this all the time. You're going to Becky because Becky can smile and she can just, you know, she doesn't argue and she whatever. Did Becky go through what Keisha went through today? Did she? Did Becky come from the household that Keisha came from? Even though her parents loved her, her parents had to do X, Y, Z, or her dad was actually taken out of her life because of war on drugs.
Wait.
Right? Like, that's stuff that really bothers me. That you're going to completely forget your history, your narrative, the weapons that have been intentionally taken against you and your people because this is easier. All of a sudden you forget. But that doesn't make sense to me. You forget when it comes to somebody else on the other side of the table or the other side of the bed from you. That don't make any sense to me. You want me to be woe is me, or I want to fight because this is what I've been through. But you gonna turn to Jack because Jack's gonna be like, "Oh, I know, honey," but he don't know a gosh darn thing about what you've been through.
Hey,
Hatem.
Jericho does, but you mad at Jericho because he in prison, but he in prison because he was intentionally targeted on a systemic to be there.
systematic level.
To me.
Now check this
Hey,
out.
Hatem.
Wait, hold on. Now
Hey,
you,
man.
you,
I like that woman, man.
hey,
Hold
hold on. I just have to interject. I fuck up a good thing if you let me. Leave me alone, Becky. She said, go ahead, girl. You drop it, but go ahead, Shaka.
No, man, I said what I need to say right then and there.
Hey, and now,
Yeah.
let me.
One other point.
What it really comes down to is that, you know what, that's a different kind of energy. Hold on one second, y'all.
All right.
That's a different kind of energy you got, sis. It does. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what to call it. But when you have a strong woman that understands, number one, when I say strong, I mean, I can tell by the way that you talk that you know all kinds of angles on the court. So when a man talks to you about games, he got to really get down into the chess game. Big. And that's when it comes to us, Hatem, you know, oh my goodness. See, the thing is that sometimes we move out of emotion, but when it comes to the protection of what it is that we are here to protect, which right now is bigger than a philosophy, it's bigger than a concept of tribe. We are building a distinctive culture.
There you
so
go.
When it comes to that, we cannot write it all by ourselves. When you look at Marcus Garvey, man, and this is the thing, sis, this is why. Like, what I see in you, I've seen in past lifetimes. Who all here knows who Marcus Garvey is? Of course. And the thing is that most of the writing, if not all, that we have had the luxury of being able to read is because his wife, after he passed, compiled them and got them published. If that didn't happen, what would we really about Marcus Garvey? What would we really know about his heart beyond what people wrote about what he did? You understand? In Jamaica, there is a myth that there was an earthquake and the earth swallowed Marcus Garvey. Spit him out. So when it comes to what we are doing right now and what you're doing with folk tales, and as I am talking about my own experiences out here with a good fight and the principalism behind why I stand where I stand, yo, it's sisters like this sister that really help keep our blade sharp, our sword sharp.
Oh wait, speaking of that, I go and finish because I'm glad you said that one. Remind me about the blade, and the blade sharp. But go ahead, come on.
Yes. Right? Because steel sharpens steel. But the piece is that here's the thing, man, is that when we get into the actual spirit science of it all, understand what we're really dealing with here in the American culture, in Northern America, and when we get into even the concepts, I don't know if y'all follow or even if y'all subscribe, but for this moment, just go with me. In spirit science, there's a phenomenon of indigo children. Children who are supposedly born into this universe to teach us balance. All right? Now, indigo children have certain traits. And there's certain things that they do that causes us to behave differently, to be able to see the truth and to be able to either align with it or continue this facade into what is normal. Y'all with me so far?
Yes. That reminds me of a point that was made earlier. And I really believe that another weapon of destruction or spiritual warfare is the whole notion that there's this generational divide.
Right.
That there's this, because I think that that's a facade, because we really do desire to be in community and we have respect for one another. But I do agree with what Brother Hatim was saying, and that age is not a qualifier for greatness and for warriorism. That just because you're older or younger doesn't qualify or disqualify you as a leader in the community. And when you really have that leadership and you know how to carry yourself and you have the humility to learn from all of your experiences and every interaction that you have, then those around you, whether they're young or they're older, they respect that. There's something about that what you're even alluding to with the indigo child or children. There's something about the undescribable and undestructible, intangible quality within individuals, and when they've also been in a place to be cultivated by the community and by nature and by all of the forces, then that just blossoms, and it doesn't, again, there's no qualifiers to age or to even sex. Right.
Warriorship.
So the one piece that I needed to tie in about the indigo children, why I brought them up, sis, is because of you. Is because the punchline is so simple. Let me get it right. Is that in the Western world, we are so we have a masculine imbalance. We have a masculine imbalance in the way that we think. The difference between the left and right brain is essentially the same difference between the masculine and feminine qualities, the feminine being the creative and the masculine being the straight and direct. You understand? So the whole piece is that because of this masculine imbalance, indigo children, which carry a more nurturing and feminine quality, are being born on this side of the world to be able to balance what we are now destitute of without them. So with that being said, it is the same energy that you bring into this conversation that once again brings more balance into not only what is being spoken, but how it's being received.
Now,
so like both, you understand what I mean?
All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to send shots out to Sister Shelly because she's been keeping up with the whole conversation. Shelly check her out on Facebook. She's an artist as well. One of the comments she say is, that's how you know, bro, that it won't only be you two. Balance. However, it's good to operate in self-reliance until the collective support is there. So check out the timeline. Make sure y'all get everything that she's posting. Y'all could post up on any timeline. And check this out. I have officially been launched into Google Play and iTunes. So this will be available on both of them. All right. So now, what I want to do, it was actually, we kind of covered the Proverbs. I got to get my babies ready because it's my niece's birthday, and they going to a birthday party. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, I enjoyed this conversation. Now, family, we're going to have a short show tomorrow, because tomorrow on Imani, I will be finishing up with Divine Conversations over at APDS. I think it's going to be at APDS tomorrow. 1409 Livingston Avenue. If it's different, I will let y'all know. But we're going to be having Divine Conversations. We're going to be finishing up this whole discussion about narratives. Of course, for those that can't make it, I'm going to be streaming. I may be streaming. Because some people might, matter of fact, I'm not going to stream, because some people might be giving some personal information on some of the stories. Because we have to take control of our narrative as a group, and we have to take control of our narrative as a collective. Now, Shaka is getting the organ ready, and he want to do some organ grinding, so I'm going to step up out the way so that he could go on and let y'all hear what Brother Shaka do. And also, make sure you follow him, because he does shows. Now, go on and link up with us through 614-300-1875. Send in if you put hashtag G&J or just G&J in there. But if you put hashtag G&J, I will plug you into all our stuff. So when he's going live, when he let me know that he's going live, I will send out the text. Because we building up a great big database, family. And eventually, we're going to make sure that we're going to be able to keep up with each and every last one of y'all. I want to know your birthday. I want to be able to celebrate your birthday with you. You know what I'm saying? I want to know when you have, and if you Jewish and you got a bar mitzvah and you part of the journey, I want to be able to at least be able to say, you know, great bar mitzvah for you or whatever. If you're getting married, I want to be able to send out shots and even show up at the wedding, because this is about community building. But the organ grinder is ready. Give it up for the great Shaka family.
I guess I paid my weight in gold. It's been a long and rugged road. I see beyond the clouds. The sun is trying to shine on me. Living in this crazy world. Yeah, just wanna break free and find a little hiding place. Feel the sunshine on my face. What does it say? When will my glass feel embraced? Just wanna break free like a phoenix bird from the fire that rise from the ashes, shine to the masses. Every day that passes, come closer to our last. This could be our only chance to move in advance. These times getting hectic and different.
You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You done? Give it up for Brother Shaka, y'all. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can say only on Gye-Nyame Journey because he got his own, but he got his own. But follow him on Facebook because he be doing live stuff. Fam, we trying to reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we could build is if we build together. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to understand that everything that we're working on is a collective piece, because this is why the collective is able to protect it. Me and Shaka could get out here. Shelly could get out here. Navita could get out here. Tiantra could get out here. And we all become very rich. But that would not last beyond 3 generations because those who are grouped up will move in and take our shit. The only thing that allows an individual to hold on to wealth beyond a certain amount of generations is a collective that's around it to protect it. When you look at all these conspiracy theories, right, you hear about the Rockefellers, right? You hear about all these conspiracies and stuff. But look at the network of individuals that the Rockefeller, the community that those type of individuals, those Rothschilds and those Rockefellers and those other family names, look at the network of other families and other groups that they have built up around themselves, family. This is a collective battle. This is a generational battle. And we have to understand that, right? We have to understand that. Family, I understand that I will be coming back. So I'm trying to make sure that when I come back, I'm coming back to a bloodline that is strong enough so I can actually make some shit happen, right? Right now, we can make small things happen. It's the small things that lead to the big things, like setting those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? When somebody got on one of our shirts, like, you know, I'm going to have problems once I bring out these Daily Toaster shirt and I find a motherfucker wearing a Daily Toaster shirt that's not a Daily Toaster. I'm going to take it personal. It's going to be some issues. You understand what I'm saying? Because I got people that's getting up with me every day. Every day. And I'll be damned if I'm going to allow somebody to disrespect that part of our tribe. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like in the military. They got special forces. Right? And it's an insult to a military person if you're running around with a special forces patch. If you run around with the Green Beret, or you run around the thing that why? Because people have died. I got elders who died in poverty. I got elders who went to jail. I got elders who died from stress. I got individuals that led to path to me being where I'm at, and I'll be damned if I allow somebody to do it. My young boy said it years ago on their rap album. They said, wipe your feet when you come in the Gye-Nyame house. Wipe your feet, because you got to show respect to what we have. And this is a problem with us, because we want to jump over convention so fast, but we have not even looked and recognized the convention. We have not looked and recognized what was there first. We think we got the answers, but family, if one of us already had the answers, then we wouldn't be in the situation we in. That's all I'm saying. Shaka, Miss Tiandra, I don't know if you still on the line, because I seen you posting up. But if y'all have some final words that y'all want to send out to the family, hopefully I see y'all tomorrow at the Divine Conversations. I gotta find out where I'll let y'all know where it is tomorrow, but I'm thinking it's still gonna be at 1409 East Livingston, the African Central Personal Development Shop. We're gonna finish this discussion on narrative, and I'm promising you, when you leave there, I'm gonna help you change your life. Because many of us are living fucked up existences because the stories that we tell ourselves about our lives and about our community, about our collective is fucked up. Once you change the story and you revisit the story on a regular basis, at least for 21 days, you'll change the habits and you'll start changing what you see. And then after you change what you see, the whole reality will change. But go ahead.
I would like to propose to the trio,
Gina,
that when I'm there in a couple of weeks, I can set up my equipment, or I mean, even listen. We need to have a live streaming with us.
Oh, we're gonna do that
sitting
shit
together.
Shaka, that's already.
You know what I mean?
You already know that shit's gonna happen. That shit's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just the other shit that me and you was talking about personally. But us doing a live show, when you hear that shit already, that shit's already done. All this shit I got right here is portable, or you come over here, I set up at the dining room table so everybody could put a face to the name. Because man, listen,
listen. I'm talking about. I want to come into town. I want to cook. I want to break bread. I want the sister that's on the line right there to be here.
Oh,
true story.
Well, we're gonna have to find somewhere else because you know, I'm a married man, so I don't have a house and shit. Miss Shelley say, Shaka, give her your contact information. She's an artist as well.
Absolutely.
All right, and she's on
Absolutely.
the line. He'll get with you, Sister Shelley. Is somebody back on who? Somebody else on the line? Or Miss Tiana?
Yeah, I've rejoined.
Okay, she rejoined because she got some last words, right?
Yeah, I do. You mentioned, I think it was Shaka that had mentioned about the masculine and feminine energy.
Yes,
Yeah,
it did.
that's so spot on, and it goes back to these narratives that are being created as weapons of destruction, and how in our culture, right, in the African American culture, anyway, we are teaching not only our young men, but our women that they have to forego their feminine energy because masculine energy is the only energy that's valued, right? Until it's too much, and then something's wrong with the child or the individual. Oh, they need to, they're children, or they need to be locked up, or somebody needs to speak to him. But we promote this imbalance of masculine energy for both our men and our women. And I know personally, the way that I grew up, I've always been a protector for my family. And something that I'm having to deal with now as an adult, and realizing that it's okay for me to express, for me to even honor and appreciate my feminine energy, and then how it intertwines with the masculine energy. And I know that I'm not really giving examples, but that was it's very valid, and it's something that we could have a whole conversation about.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
And I look forward.
That's why we gather. That's why we gather, right? These conversations. Now, I can't wait till one day around the fire where we got, I don't even care how many, but we got enough people sitting around the fire where it's packed out, and we could able to tell stories and discuss and throw our pains into the fire. And I mean,
Yeah.
family, when we get out here and we're able to really build. See, because like I said, true spirituality, just like true nation building, is all about relationship building. Not this fake ass relationship shit where we got going on in our community now, where it's like it's like everything got to be structured. You know what I'm saying? I don't want so much. I mean, like, for example, y'all talking about that balance, which is so structured that we take out like, for example, I knew just by listening that Shaka had music that he wanted to play. Playing that shit, but I know he's sitting by his organ. I know because of our relationship, and I know who he is. And when I heard the keys in the background, there was an automatic message that he wanted to share. So I didn't have to be like, Shaka, you want to play some music? Go ahead. No, all right. Next on the mic, family, because we know each other. And it's like,
Yes, that's the beauty of a village.
Exactly. We got to know each other, right? We got to know each other, and because family, and it could build. And it don't even take a lot of money. Because like I said, we already halfway there, because my family, the tribe I'm part of, Gye-Nyame, right? We already got enough equipment for about 80 people to go out into the woods.
Yeah.
We already got it.
Yeah, and I know it's January, but you mentioned this, one of the first questions you asked in the beginning of the call is how are we going to channel the energy of the system and use it? And that would be a beautiful opportunity to go out and to be around the fire. And the supermoon's the 31st of January.
Oh, man. It's the super moon. It's a blue moon because it's the second. Y'all got to realize it's the second full moon in January. And it's a lunar eclipse.
January, yes.
But
the first one was the wolf moon.
Right. But this is the problem. There will be no full moon in February. So this is going to be, so, those of you that follow the astrology, that's going to be a problem in February. But right now, family, we moving into a super moon. Now, I know many of us won't go outside, but I'm asking you to do is to focus the energy, because I think on that night I may be doing a show so that we can gather around the new fireplace of our community, the internet, the cell phone, and we could allow the fires
Right.
of the screen to stream, and we can have a serious conversation, because it's time for us to start having these serious conversations, because all of us in this circle, we don't agree, because me and Shaka got different points in our philosophies where it don't line up. But we realized a long time ago that enough of it line up that we recognize each other as brothers. And just like with you, Sister Tiandra, we recognize you as a sister. Just like with you, Sister Shelley, we recognize you as a sister. Just like with Navita, we recognize we don't all have to agree, because unity, this is the fact, this is the falsity that everybody gets in unity. Unity does not mean that we all are alike. Unity only survives
Unity does not equate to conformity.
That's right. Because conformity, what happens with conformity is destruction. Why? Because all I got to do is have one source code or one virus, and I can destroy everybody because you're all alike. What protects unity is the diversity within the unity, because I could throw one virus in there, and if there's diversity, that means that maybe a few of y'all might catch it, but the rest of y'all are diverse enough to keep it going, to keep moving, and to destroy that virus. Unity is not about uniformity. That is a totally different thing. Totally different thing. And this is the mind state that a lot of people want y'all to be in. We don't all have to totally agree. Hell, you know, the European, West Asia's been demonstrating this for years. This is why they got 2 and 3 and 4 parties now. They got 2 major parties because they don't agree. They don't have to agree, but they do, you know, and the only time that they really need to agree is when they're going to war against somebody else. So what's going to happen, and y'all need to be paying attention to this, in order for Donald Trump to move his agenda forward, America is going to have to find a scapegoat. I need y'all to pay attention to this. Now, I did a show last year about the scapegoat, and I think it's called the mnemonic virus, right? Where there has to be something that they unite under. There's going to have to be a sacrifice. And y'all think a lot of times people is talking crazy when they say shit like this. There's going to have to be a sacrifice that brings America back together. And family, if we don't start getting ourselves together, there's a possibility that the sacrifice to bring America together will be your black ass. Just throwing that out there. And if you don't, go ahead.
I get all of that, man. I get all of that. It's just, you know, at the end of the day, Hatim, it's the same work. For those of us who are tuned in, it's the same work.
Let it sit too long, though.
Less to delegate. You understand what I mean? Like right now, we need to, just like right now, you're creating a legacy by journaling every single day and carrying this conversation further every single day with a state of organization, ritual. You understand? Mm-hmm. You have done what I believe is the secret weapon in where we go. See, because here's the thing. In humanity, we feud against each other because there's nothing greater than us that's imposing on us besides the weather.
Right.
Right? So the piece is that even when the weather gets tough, it brings out the baby in us, and then we draw together for heat.
Right.
When a hurricane happens, then we come together in a collective response because we too fear. We need to know exactly what's going on because we can be next, and that is what movement is. And right now, so if that's the case, what I'm saying is that when it comes to extraterrestrial beings, man is not ready for that yet.
Actually,
man,
I would challenge that. I'm going to say, in order for us to really take care of what we have and to realize where we are, we may need that. But until we get that, men will always come up with other scapegoats. The scapegoat, if you really look at the phenomenon, the scapegoat is the one that is sacrificed in order for the total group unity, because everybody needs something to symbolically put their blame on. America is moving towards a point, and with the president we have, we're moving towards a point where we naturally need, or this country naturally needs, a scapegoat. Now, the question is, what would a scapegoat be? Because what the scapegoat allows to happen is for the society and the individuals in that group to put all of their blame on that scapegoat and then go out and destroy that scapegoat by murder, by sacrifice. This is why it was so important for the white community to always be able to lynch black men, because they was able to put all the sins of the community on that black man. In a sense, he carried the burden of all of them, and then they would destroy his body. Family, if we do not start getting ourselves together, there's a possibility that we could become the scapegoat. This is not mystic spiritualism I'm talking about. This is science. This is science.
Yeah.
You go back in my timeline, look up the
For sure.
Huh? Go ahead.
I'm affirming that. Yes.
Right.
I'm just affirming what you're saying.
Family, go back in the timeline. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you where you can get it quicker. Go to, it's these white boys, they got a YouTube channel called Vsauce. One of the dopest channels on the internet. Vsauce. Put, it's MENEOMNEMOICI or something. Mnemonic virus. Just type that in and look at the shit, and they give you a detail of why it's important to have a scapegoat. Because it unites people. That's why an alien coming from someplace else is going to be the only thing that get motherfuckers to recognize the humanity of everybody on this planet. Because then we got an enemy that we can focus on. We need that shit. Black folks have not been willing to be like, you my motherfucking enemy. This is why it's hard for us to unite. This is why it's we can have so many different parties and so many different factions. We got motherfuckers going into a luge. We got all types of shit. And the major reason for that is because we have not identified an enemy that we can focus all of our attention on. Now some of us is realizing it because now we talking about we can see the systematic abuse of us, but we're just identifying a system which is not a thing. A system is a concept, it's an idea. We need to be able to lump all that shit on and be like, we need to protect our borders. Because if you are international people, if you are a universal people, you don't need borders. Anybody could cross it. That's why our barriers are so low, because we want to be accepted. We want to be loved. But I'm saying, family, it's time for us to expand beyond that shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't no longer care about motherfuckers loving us. As a matter of fact, by us seeking love, and anybody that's ever been in a relationship, right? In a relationship, the way the human character works, when you poured your love on an individual, especially somebody outside your family that you had a serious commitment to, when you poured all of it onto them, they didn't want it. Only when you start ignoring their ass.
That.
Right.
This is what we're doing in our relationship with everybody else. I want you to love us, so here, take this. Here, come in. Here, learn to b-boy. Here, learn how to sing jazz. Here. And anybody, you know that shit get on your nerves when somebody's constantly giving you shit. But when we start holding on to our shit like, no. You can't get this. They want it more. America's not respecting us because they don't have to, because they know we're going to give them our love regardless. Now we need to make America pay for our love. Pay for our dedication. You motherfuckers want us to go to war. You want us to sign our kids to go to war with you in your imperialistic journey. Motherfucker, what are you going to give us? We beyond that shit now.
They've been giving us.
Huh? Know what I'm
saying? They've been giving us.
No, what I'm saying is,
when I say they, I mean we.
Right.
And when I say we, I mean the American culture.
No,
I mean, bruh,
they ain't giving a
no,
shit.
and that's the thing. We are so loose in that. As Americans, what is it that is commonplace in my household to the next? In American culture. Because when you say as American as cherry pie, I don't be eating cherry pie. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? And
I
that's
actually don't eat
where
that shit either.
we, on a grand level, have a disconnect, a cultural disconnect. But right here, but this is the beauty of it, because like you said, Hatem, this conversation right now I'm having as if it's just the three of us on the line. And the piece about it is that there's people in Ghana that can be listening in.
That will.
In fact,
that will. See, Shaka, I need you to, I want to be clear with you. Realize that when y'all come on this show, we're talking to the future. One, because most of the people come in and watch the show after it goes off. And second, this shit is logged. So right now, we are speaking as I'm talking to you, and I need y'all to take your minds like this. I want y'all to, as we speaking right now, look into the camera. If you're looking, I am speaking to you. Somebody who is picking this up in 2028. Hopefully, you are in a different place. So we realize that with this internet, with this thing right now, with all the information we're able to gather, we are talking not only to the present moment, we're talking to the future generations. Every time we record, every time we toast, realize that somebody's going to turn this shit on where I'm toasting right now. We toasted today. And I will be going, and they will be toasting me, and they're going to watch this, and they're going to see me in action right now. And it kind of fucks with your timeline in your mind. But we got to understand this is technology we dealing with. This is the hieroglyph of our time. So every time you speak, Shaka, every song that you sing, realize that when you put it on this shit, you're putting it not just for the people that's now, but for the future generations. That's why I kept going when I was getting nobody watching my shit or listening to anything that I was doing. That's why I cataloged it. Because everything I talked about, every issue that I'm dealing with, everything that I covered on here, one of my kids might need to plug in and find that. You know what they're going to be able to do? I want to hear from my dad. And they're going to be able to go.
Well,
pull that shit up.
Let me say this. And right now, I'm talking to my children that have not yet been conceived. Okay? There is a tribe in Africa. I cannot remember where. But this story is so beautiful, man. That when a sister wants to conceive a child, she goes out, takes a walk by herself, and she'll choose a tree. She'll sit under that tree. She'll hum until she has a very definitive melody. She has conceived. She birthed this melody.
All right, that's
feels deep inside of her.
Stand before you, honoring those who made the sacrifice, those who died, those whose bones lie deep in the Atlantic Ocean, those ancestors stolen from the motherland and taken to another land. We honor you. I say. We honor those freedom fighters like Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Mary Bethune, Nat Turner, and the thousands of others who fought, who bled, who died. I say. We honor those, the unknown warriors, whose names we don't know, who fought, who bled and died for freedom. As we pour and we say, I say. We honor the unborn children who will continue the legacy of sacrifice, who will fight in honor of those who fought the fight. I say. We call out to those. Join the fight. Join the fight. And continue to honor those who fought, who bled, and who died. I say. We pour libations and honor those who fought the fight. I get up, stand up, get up, stand up.